Hey everyone, and welcome to another Gadget Talk. I know a lot of you may be traveling back from Geo Woodstock. Look like y'all had a great time up there in Kentucky. And sorry for hearing Josie in the background. If you hear her barking, she just ate, and I think she wants to go outside. So somebody's got to go let her out in a minute. But and I may do it when we do our sponsors. So we'll find out. But I just want to welcome everybody for joining us tonight. Uh, uh, Chad, you doing okay?
Oh yes, yeah. I am just working on something here real quick. I forgot, but
Nope.
yes, doing great. Great weekend, nice holiday weekend. I hope everybody's having a great holiday weekend here in the U.S. I
Yeah,
don't know
and just to make a comment, the shirts was not planned for tonight, by the way. Just
that
we
you're
just
right.
happened to showed up and like, hey, I guess I got the memo. But I want to welcome everybody, Seabit Tribe, or as I usually say, Seabiscuit Tribe, Riley Family Geocaching Adventure, Quincy Cupid, Houston, Texas Dave, the Pizza Ninja, Tom Brotherman, Darren coming in from Australia, and Tony Golden from Kentucky, Bill on the Move coming in from California, Scooby Loves Pooh, Tricashus, and let's see here, Engineer 42 is with us as well, and I'm sure there's others that are on here. Pizza says you wore that shirt today too. So hey, we're all getting the uh, the memo. And Buzz82, chronically tired mom has joined us as well. So I just want to welcome those that have joined us tonight. Uh, Great to see everybody here. And tonight we're going to be covering part two of the wooden ammo can insert. And this is kind of a cover of, because a lot of times Chad's done it with acrylic. And this is for those that don't want to deal with acrylic and the shards and that when you're cutting the acrylic and wood, it's a lot of times a lot easier to work with. So we're going to go back on part two of how this is. And are we going to be sharing the puzzle as well that you've came up with this yet? Or are we just showing the insert, Chad?
I was just doing the insert, and we can show different puzzles you can use with my thought
Okay.
process without making it because I don't know what you're going to want to use. So either the RFID card, the child lock, the barrel bolt, the barrel latch, or whatever. We can go over those.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. But before we get much further, let's go ahead and take care of our sponsors. And I'm pulling up the video right now. And then we have some announcements as well that I want to make after we get the word from our sponsors. If you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today.
Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine Write in the Rain paper. The logbook's designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today. All right. So one thing is that we have another key clue, but we're not going to do it yet. We're going to do that toward the end of the show. So that's one thing that we're going to announce. But the other thing that I wanted to announce is now, of course, it goes with kind of our shirts that we have on. This is last year's shirts, but Cache Fest. If you want to be a volunteer for Cache Fest this year, our volunteer sign up is now on the website. So you can go on there and sign up to be volunteers because, we can't do this mega without the help from our volunteers. So we need your help. So you can go and sign up for a shift on there. And I didn't say it on the website, but there's a really cool gift if you volunteer and you complete your shift. So,
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
yeah, it's
I
going to be a lot of
volunteer
fun.
just for the gift. It's what 2 hours is the minimum shift.
I think it's like 2 hours. Yeah, it's not a
Yeah,
big deal.
it's
So,
worth
and
it.
the shift breakdown on there, and we need it for some of the side events as well as the actual day of the mega itself. So, because I know, like for the Great Gadget Build Off, which is we got all our builders.
Yeah,
Everybody
it's
signed up for that.
totally booked for builders. Now,
Totally
I
booked.
will say, just in case, I would show up if you're interested and you didn't get on the list, just in case there's a no-show.
Right. Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, we're already booked up. That was nice. That went fast.
That is really good. And then the other one that you want to sign up for is if you want to do the escape room challenge. Escape room. There's still some signups on that. Let me go on real quick, and I'm gonna see what is left on that. I got to get onto the website real quick. There's a few slots that are left on that as well, and of course they're running 3 different ones at the same time. So, and that's on Thursday. Let's see what slots they have open still.
Tony Golden says he's going to sign up tonight.
Okay,
for
so
the
9,
volunteering.
15, all slots are filled. I'm looking at here, 9:15 and 9:30. There's a slot. There's 10 slots available there. Let's see here. There's actually still quite a few slots that are open throughout the day from between there. So go on there and sign up for those as well. So yeah, just go ahead and sign up. Fill out the slots that you need on there. There's quite a bit that's still left open. So go sign up for the escape room challenge. I haven't signed up. Chad, I know you're going to sign up as well, as I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, we're probably going to do regular escape rooms during the week anyways. But
it's my plan. We're going to be there early. We're getting there like Saturday morning, I think.
Afternoon. Wow.
So.
Wow. So, and I'm looking forward to everybody coming up and being here. Oh, we got Reese 486 has joined us from Oklahoma. Welcome, Reese. Roma Cats is in here. Doug is with us tonight as well. Transplant from California to Texas now. So, but all right, Chad, shall we get into our build?
Yeah, we can get into our build. Real quick though, I do want to mention something here. I had Richard Reagan from California send me a message about Cache in the Bay 2023 Mega. He just wanted me to mention that's coming up on June 24th. It's GC9RVZ2. And so it's at the History Park in San Jose, and there'll be a mix of smart caches, Arduino Raspberry Pi, puzzles, and gadget style caches. So if you like to find gadget caches, it sounds like there's going to be plenty of them there to find. So plan on going that, and that's again on June 24th, and the GC code is 9RVZ2. GC9RVZ2. Yeah.
Excellent. And where's that again? That's in San Francisco?
It says it's in San Jose.
San Jose.
Yeah, it's called Cache in the Bay.
Cache in the Bay. Yes, I was just noticing Bell on the Move is going to be there, so that's really cool.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Yeah, since it's that close. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. He makes some incredible caches.
He does. So he does.
I actually told my wife, I was like, we should go down for the weekend. It's only like a 2-hour flight for us, so
yeah, why not?
Fun. Yeah.
And then we got Joanne from Arkansas has joined us. Welcome. So,
okay.
Love seeing all these different people, some new names that I've seen tonight. And so I just love seeing everybody joining us on Gadget Talk tonight. So welcome.
Perfect. So 2 weeks ago, last show, we left off on the top of the ammo can or the wooden insert. So tonight we're going to just put the hinge on the top pretty much, and then we'll go over some puzzles you can have. It should be a really simple show tonight.
Okay.
Just to go over these, but make sure if you have any questions or suggestions, put it in the chat so Derek can see them.
Okay. I don't know if it was just Chad that just.
Oh. Okay. I'm thinking we lost Derek. So I will go ahead and go on.
Yeah, you did for a second.
I thought it was
some
me
reason-
because, like I
I
was
did
telling
too.
you before, we had issues with our internet. So
I've been having issues last week. I just rebooted. Well, not rebooted, but I restarted it. I'm seeing great speed, but I don't know. It's just being crazy. They've been working out on the street last few days too. So who knows what's going on? All right.
okay, here we go. Add the stream. Okay. So this is where we're with our box. This is where we ended last week. If you didn't see last week, we'll just quickly go over it. We ended up making the box here, and you can watch last episode. We put the box in. There's a little bit of room here for the bottom of an ammo can for it to slide in. We put in some screws, and I just noticed I did not put any screws in here, but I did glue it. Oh, it looks like I put some pins
brads
in there. So, yeah, I guess that's okay. I'll throw some more screws in there just to make sure, because I don't want to trust just glue. I want an actual mechanical fastener as well.
Right.
And so
I'm just reading the comments of when I froze.
I thought it was me, so I went off real quick and came back on.
Yeah, Quincy Cupid said Derek got hit by the freeze ray. Pizza Ninja says was Derek about to spill the beans? And then Seabeck Tribe says, I thought my internet was goofy. I did love Derek's face in the freeze. I got to go back and look at what it did.
I thought it was me. I really did. I was like, oh, because I was telling you earlier, right before the show, is we actually just got a new internet deal because our old one was having so many problems.
Right.
I've had nothing but problems with the new one.
I'm about to move where mine is located from upstairs to downstairs, so hopefully that might improve that in the future.
I'm going to put some screws in here. This line from last episode, if you see, this is the outside of my box, or my wood here. So I'm just going to pick the middle here real quick and make a line, and that's where I'll drill my pre-drill holes. Now we want to miss going into this seam here. So I have it marked on this side now where that seam is. So last week I didn't have that marked, and I went right into that seam.
And once again, and I might have just frozen again, but
you're going. You're good. Can you hear me? Oh, I think Derek froze. So I'm just gonna have one more here. I don't know why I did 3 on the other side. I'll do 2. I don't think we need 3. I said this is gonna be mounted into an ammo can, so you're not gonna be able to pull it apart. Okay, and then I'll throw some screws in here. We're ready to put my screws.
all right, I'm back again.
I kept going because I figured it was you, not me this time.
Yeah, it's going to be me. Like I said, my internet's jumping in and out. But what I was about to say, I was saying you're doing the insets on this as well. So that's...
Yes, I went over everything on here, so I'm just going to put some screws in here real quick. The reason why I put them on the sides also so that you can't see them from the front.
Right.
So you can't unscrew it. But I put a third hole here. I'm going to go ahead and put a screw in it. Okay. Put those down. Okay, so we're good with that. There. So now we have our box. Front or back doesn't matter. If you want to make it a little bit prettier, you can. You can obviously run this piece of wood longer and cut it and insert this and put some screws in, but I didn't want any screws seen from the edge here, so that's how I made it. You could also do a dado or a rabbit if you want to. I did that when I did my locking miter on the last on a birdhouse that we did, but I'm not going to get that fancy. Again, we want to kind of keep it simple so just anybody can build it.
Right.
With just your basic, I mean, this is, you could do this with just a table saw or a chop saw if you want.
Or for Andrew,
That's-
even a jigsaw.
yeah, a jigsaw. I'm sure he has a skill saw somewhere.
I don't know. He may now. I don't know.
So,
If
okay.
not, Father's Day's coming up.
Yeah.
And Harbor Freight is a great store.
So I was going to do a piano hinge originally, and I really thought I had some here, and the only one I have is really short, really short. So I want to move my camera here just a little bit. So I end up just grabbing one of these hinges here. This will work just fine for my purpose here tonight. So what we're going to do is go ahead and mount this way, the correct way, to the box itself. This part here will be mounted to the roof or the lid.
Okay.
And it should be pretty simple. I was thinking I could have taken this here, this back piece, and actually went in 1/8 of an inch, because there's actually going to be a gap on the back side of your ammo can,
Yes. Yeah.
right? And so if I actually put this piece in a little bit, and then I would have had to just cut a small 45 on the back of this, then it might have been hidden. But for the fact that it's inside the box, and we may still have an issue when you pull this up. If you look at this hinge, when you pull the hinge up, right, you're going to need room for the lid. So I'm not sure. We might have to end up having a gap here. I could even cut an extra piece of wood.
Well, maybe
just to
if
pick
it
up the
opened
gap.
from the opposite way.
Oh, it could, because I did leave room.
Yeah, because you're going to
So
have
it
room
could
on the
open
other
the
side.
opposite
So you
way.
could open it the opposite way.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So there's lots of different ways. Again, I literally have not worked on this at all during the week or anything. I just grabbed some wood, and tonight I grabbed a hinge and was like, okay, we're off. Okay, so now on this, I'm going to use a centering bit that I have and somewhere.
Yeah, Andrew's mentioning that he borrowed a scroll saw. That was a huge help for his caches that he built for this year's Los Angeles Spring Fling Mega.
Oh, nice.
Scooby Loves School says scroll saws are fun.
I don't have a scroll saw.
Really? You don't have a
No.
scroll saw?
Nope. I have a coping saw. That'd be the closest I come. I don't know when I'd ever need to have a bandsaw, but
I have a bandsaw, a scroll saw. I mean, I've done the scroll saw a few times.
okay. So we have our holes drilled here for these two screws. Now we need to put them on the top here, and I was just thinking to line them up. And it's been a long time since I put hinges on anything, but I think what I'm going to do is draw where the holes are back here and maybe transfer that to the top. It's probably a much easier way to do that. You know what I'll do? You'll never see the back of this.
And it says that you can 3D print a scroll saw.
I wonder how that would do in the heat of cutting something, and the vibration, it'd fall apart. Need to get one of those metal cutting printers.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do it this way. I'm doing this completely wrong. If someone has a different idea on doing this, let me know, because I'm sure there's a lot of other people that do this kind.
Well, we
Now,
got
there's
some
other
people that wanna do
hinges to use.
tri-caches.
Oh,
So tri-cache says sometimes I would super glue the second part of the hinge to the top, then screw
Yeah.
it after it dries.
well, that's a good idea, actually. Or hot glue would work too.
Yeah.
That's a really. We should try that. I don't know how long it takes for my hot glue gun to go up. But what I'm going to do is I'm just making these marks real quick here, trying to make sure I remember to do everything under the camera.
And this just helps with these marks and everything. It'll just help when you put the hinge in, so everything lines up really nice.
So what I'm doing then is now my hinge, I'm hoping what's going to happen is that's where my hole should be.
right?
Right.
And I'll take my bit out of my drill. Everything should line
Okay,
up.
so another tip is coming from Rombacats, and it says put some masking tape over the holes, mark the holes in the tape, and transfer tape to the lid to mark holes for the lid.
Oh, good idea. Okay, let's see if my little experiment here worked. So, you know what I do not know if I grab was some short screws.
I'm sure you got them somewhere in there, Chad. You got everything
Oh,
else.
I'm sure I have them. It'll just take a second. It's actually on my list. I use the short screws all the time.
Right.
It's on my list to pick some more up at the store.
Yeah, so Pizza Ninja says Gadget Talk has so many good pro tips. I mean, it's just things that we all run into, and I mean, Chad and I don't have all of them, but we have those great viewers and listeners that always help chime in and give some other tips as well. So yeah, different. I mean, there's always different ways to do things, and sometimes our way is not the best way. So it's always good to have others that can throw in some tips as well. So I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, there's always more than one way to do something, and having the help from the listeners. I mean, there's so many good builders on here that give advice.
Yeah.
I mean, even in construction, when I'm in construction, you learn something new all the time.
Oh yeah. I have a saying: the day that I stop learning something is the day that I die.
Not me.
Well, I'm gonna learn something every day, is what I'm saying. And the day that I'm not learning something new,
Yeah, no, that's good.
Will be the last day that I'm alive. Because I'll probably be in like a coma in somewhere.
Yeah, let me check my other drawer here. My junk. I have a big drawer full of miscellaneous screws.
So, well, once again, I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. And if you're driving back from Geo Woodstock, I hope you drive safely and hope you had a great time there. Don't forget there are some other megas that are coming up. Of course, Cash Fest is coming up in July. Events start on the Wednesday, whatever, 15th, 14th, 12th of July, I believe it is. So lots of different 2 events a day until the event itself. And then don't forget that there is still a sign up for the Escape Room Challenge. And also don't forget about there's a riverboat cruise that is not part of the actual event, but we're going to be going on a riverboat cruise after an event there on the bank. And so if you want to join us for that, you're more than welcome to join us for the riverboat cruise. And there's something special that's going to happen on that cruise. So it's a lot of fun, but it's not an actual event itself, but it's just something extra fun that we're going to be having there. Tony Golden says he's already home from Geo Woodstock. So hope you had a great time.
Yeah, the riverboat cruise is going to be a blast. I wish it could be an official event, but
yeah, but we can't make somebody have to pay for it. So that's the big thing.
I was going to mention that it is an extra cost to go on the cruise. We tried to make it as inexpensive as possible for tickets to go, and you get actually a really cool gift for going.
Yeah. And it's a 2-hour cruise, I think it is, not a 3-hour cruise. So we should be safe.
So we'll be safe.
Yeah, we'll be safe.
Should use my wrong size screws for this one. Okay. Put this out. You see how bad I'm off?
Oh, can you slide it a little bit further?
Oh, yes.
Right? There you go.
Thank you. I'm used to working in the center of my table. I need to add in the other room when I had to set up there. I added a red box in tape that you couldn't see, but would remind me to keep the build inside that red box.
Looks pretty good, Chad.
And we'll see. Yes. All right, there we go. We're off a little bit forward, but yeah, I'll take it.
All right.
All right, so there's our ammo can insert out of wood. The nice thing that I like about it is once it's in, you're never going to see any screws on it. So,
Right.
It is wood. If someone wants to get into it, they're going to get into it.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it is.
So now, what type of hasp are we using to lock it up inside?
So that's what I was saying. I don't have the puzzle or anything with me that I've done up because there's so many different options.
Right.
So sorry, I walked away. We can go over different options. So one option is to put in the RFID tag system, which I have on another one I can show you. That's what we used on our acrylic insert. We have the keypad option, which is a good one, and maybe we'll put that one together on there tonight.
And then also I see the baby latch lock there as well, the magnetic lock one.
Yeah, baby latch, magnetic lock, and
so yeah, there's a lot of different options. I kind of like the keypad idea.
yeah, and so when I made this, and I'll show real quick, what I did is there's plenty of room on top. I made it short enough so you can actually put something on top to lock it. So this will go in here, and you said you can turn it around the other way. You mentioned that, which is a good idea. So if you see, there's a good 3/4 of an inch, maybe almost an inch there.
Right.
And that will allow something like this to go on top. You still have a little bit of extra room on the lid. If you take a look here, probably another, not quite a quarter, but 3/16. Yeah. Anyways, so this, you can still shut your ammo can. It'll be secure. And the nice thing about putting this inside an ammo can, especially an aluminum one or a metal one, is it's going to stay with the weather seal on here.
Right.
Hopefully, it will keep the electronics nice and dry.
All right. So out of curiosity, with it where you have it located right now, how does that lid open up? The inside lid.
Okay, so this way right now.
So you see how it slid open? So yeah, if we had it go the other way, or just have that gap.
Yeah. So you see how there's some stuff here. If it's all the way back, it would only lift that far. So we're going to have to actually either add a piece of wood to the back of that, because I'm going to need that gap there, and I don't like that gap. Should have recessed something there. I should have done that different. Or what Derek was saying, which I like. And there's another thing we could do too, which is what I usually do. I don't know why I didn't think about it on here, but Derek said you can go this way, and then have the lid open this direction. Here,
You have to put like a handle or
you have a handle or something on there. Now, normally, and I don't know why I didn't do it on this. Normally, what I'll do on these here is put the hinge. Oh, you know why? It's because you can see the screws. Normally, I'll put the hinge on top. So I'll cut a 1-inch sliver, put the hinge on top, and then do the lid, and that way you don't have the issue. But you'll see the screws, and you can take them out to get in. Which, again, if someone wants to get in bad enough, they're going to.
Right. Yeah. I mean, locks only keep honest people honest. So.
Yeah. So let me see if I can find. Yeah. So here's one I did have acrylic years ago, and because acrylic we welded on there, you don't see any screws. So I have a 1-inch piece there, and I don't know where the key is for this, so it won't open. But anyways, 1-inch screw or 1-inch piece, the hinge it's welded on there, and then the rest of your acrylic. So that is a better way to go if you can.
Okay. Or the other type of hinge that we could have possibly used is a hidden hinge. One of the
We could, and I have different ones, and I think Roomacats likes to use.
I like, and I know I've used them on several different my caches, and I like those as well. And you could have gotten away with that. It would have been kind of a pain. You probably have the tool, but kind of a pain to get it on the inside. That first one.
To mount it inside here.
Yeah.
Or on this side here. Yeah, and they're so close together. I don't know how it would work on here. I guess we could make it go this way.
I wonder if you could do just one.
Possibly. I mean, it wouldn't be very when it goes side to side. This way. When you push the hinge, it would be very strong. I have no idea. It's a good question. So what you're talking about is, I'll grab one here, real quick. At least I think what you're talking about.
I think I may have a few. I've used them on when I was doing my channel. I had them on, showed a couple of them on there as well. Darren from Australia says, still put the 1-inch spacer, but put the hinge vertically.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, and screw it in here. The one reason why I don't like screwing in here is it's not very strong. Threads or screws don't hold inside the end grain very well. But if you go long enough and you use a coarse thread, it should work fine. And you would really have to yank on that to get it out. But yes, that's a good idea. So the hinge would have been on top. And we can do, and I could probably cut a cool piece of wood real quick. We could change it. So what you're talking about, I believe, right, are these?
Yeah, hinges? Yeah. So it's on the inside, so you wouldn't even see it.
Yeah. So this would mount inside here. We'll do it on the side here. Some screws in it. If I want that screw. And none of them. All right.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of different types.
So there's lots of different types. So this would mount inside here. You put a couple screws in it there. Then you'd have to do a Forstner bit in the lid to mount it. And this actually has an extra mount that goes on here for adjusting and everything. But then this would just, when you lift up the lid, it would just lift up like that. So, yeah, I mean, that would work if you did one. I don't know if you could probably do two if you wanted to. But yeah, that's great. And I will say, if anybody has an idea of how to make this and you want to come on to the show and show us, we are more than happy to have you on to show everybody how you would make this.
Yeah, and if you do, send us an email at Gadget Talk or Instagram at Gadget Talk Podcast, or you can send us an email at gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com. I would love to see what your comments, or what you're thinking of, or even how to do that. Would really love to see that.
No, this already has batteries in it.
Wow, that's
must use this for something. I wonder what the code is. Okay, so I think what we'll do is just, will this work? You know what? That won't work.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was.
I would have to. I could dado out the sides there before I put it together. Yeah. So that won't work. So we won't.
Would it even work at that angle of coming up like that?
It would have to be on the lid.
Yeah.
Going down, but so you'd need to cut out, do a dado out of here, or a rabbit cut. Anyways, hollow out. You could chisel it if you wanted to make it go down. You wouldn't have a ton of play. You could change these sides to 1/4-inch wood, honestly, if you wanted to, and that should be fine. Because your screws are going in here. No one's going to be pulling on it sideways.
Right.
So, I mean, that would work. I could probably even cut a notch out on each side, because once it's closed, I don't know if anyone can see it. So we won't do that. Let's do the child lock then.
So Romocat says a comment here, says a great show might be installing hidden hinges, and Seabiscuit Tribe said that is a great idea, especially for the people who are not so knowledgeable on how to do things like that. So,
well, there's these fancy tools for that.
And then Trikasha says, Nice thing about those hinges, there are some that need no clearance as they open.
Yeah. That's really nice. This is going to drive me nuts. So when I installed this, it's hanging over a little bit. I'm going to mark it and give me 2 seconds. I'm going to cut that off.
All right. So as Chad goes and cuts that off, I just once again, I want to just thank everybody. And I love seeing these great comments that everybody's coming in on. And I do like the idea of showing the how to do some. And as you hear in the background, there's that saw going and he sounds like he's done already. So, all right. So you're back with us. All right,
much better. I'm happy with that. I like a clean looking box. Okay. So, it's been a long time since I've installed one of these.
Our kids are older. We don't need to put child locks on anymore.
No. I am going to I'm going to cheat here a little bit. And you could use a tape measure, but I'm going to use a piece of wood. Oh, you guys didn't see that because I'm on the wrong side. Put this piece of wood up here to get my thickness and marked it. And so that's going to be the inside of the wood here.
Okay.
So, and then you have 2 parts to this. I'm going to have to make this up as I go because I haven't installed one of these in a long time. This piece here needs to be flush, if I remember right, with this line here. So it needs to be able to come all the way out.
Right.
Actually, you probably should be back a tiny bit because you have this piece here that's going to mount on this side of the box to catch that latch. And this is about a 1/16 of an inch thick, maybe a little bit more. But it's going to mount right here somewhere. So I'm going to have to measure down. And I don't know if it's flush. Let's see.
And you have to drill a little bit of a hole there too for the.
We'll have to drill a hole, yeah, for the magnet part, which is not too bad. So I would say if we go down a 1/16 of an inch, and I'm probably going to be getting. I know I'm getting too crazy on this here.
Now on these, you have to make sure, and a lot of people don't realize this, on the brand that you have here, that magnet on the top is it has to be pole sensitive. So if it's a negative, you need a positive or whatever. Yeah. So remember that as well, because you'll need a magnet to actually open this one, and it's not just metal; it's actually a magnet that's there. So
1/16 of an inch. And that's going way too far. It doesn't have to be that precise. So, tip this up. And if you know you're going to do this type of a latch, you could actually, before you put this on, you could probably get it all set up and pre-drill it and all that stuff. But I am going to.
But we do this on the fly, so.
Yep. 5.5, so 2 3/4. Center it. Yep. Okay. Sorry, I don't have all my tools ready. And again, I know I'm getting way too crazy. It's the way I live.
Well, we all do at times.
Okay, so that got my center mark there. I'm going to mark these and screw it on with some little screws. Those screws I know I have.
So I'm about to show a picture here in a second,
Okay.
Chad. Andrew just sent me a picture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm about to message it to ourselves so I can put it on there. So I'm gonna send it to you, then I can grab it. So 1 second.
Then you can grab it.
I can grab it onto the computers because he texted it to me. So
Oh, okay. Well, you can just pull it up if you want. All you can see it at the same time if you want, or is it something that he doesn't want everybody else to see?
no. It's just the easier way for me to get it because I can just open
Okay.
up my messenger here and
Sounds good.
get it onto the computer. Is all I'm doing.
Okay. So I have that on. There. And we are figure out how far out I need to come. So we know that my top is flush with this.
Right.
So I'm going to run this square even with that and then give it a 1/16 of an inch. So first a little bit of play, right? And then that should be my mark for the edge of this here. If it wasn't on the box, it'd be a lot easier.
All right. So as you're measuring that, I'm gonna show this picture here. So this is actually an insert that out of wood that Andrew did, Bill on the Move did, and this one actually has a little bit of that gap at the back end of it. He was telling me where it flips up, so it has a little bit of a gap there. So, but I love look. Can you see the picture, Chad?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
All right, I love how you've got the circuit boards on top, Andrew. And then it looks like there may be a puzzle how to figure that out with the colors there. I love that, and love the geocache symbol there on one of the chips or one of the power the cooling block or whatever that is right there. Just really love the aspect of this. It looks really cool. And this is just using one of these simple ammo cans and insert, and it just has a regular hasp lock with a combination lock on there so that you're figuring it out. That's just another puzzle, another way of being able to do this. So it just shows the creativity that you can have as you're doing these inserts into these ammo cans. And I really like the ammo can aspect of it because ammo cans are a lot of times a lot easier to hide than birdhouses and stuff like that, and depending on where you're at. And a lot of places don't like you putting up birdhouses because the way you have to mount them or strap them to different trees. So that's really cool. Thanks, Andrew, for sending that to us.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. That's nice. Okay, so what I did here was I measured in how far, if this works right, in it is. I probably should give it some more room now that I think about it because I need to give some room for that.
And Andrew put into the chat the GC number on that as well. It is a CPU hacking can cracking tool. Gadget Cache GC94YT0.
You know, I'm making this way too complicated, way too hard. These things don't need to be that precise. So that's where my round hole is going to be.
Okay.
I'm just going to center this on there. Well, we know where it's going to be. Make my little hole. We need to find the size. So I have my little template here.
Now, did you make that on the 3D printer, your template?
No. This is one I've had for years, but you can make them on the 3D printer. I've had a couple of people ask me to make them for them. But it looks like you probably can't see it on there. It's 1/4 inch hole. So we'll go over here to our bits and find 1/4, which is.
You also want to make sure that you don't want to over drill and go all the way down through the top of it too.
Looks like my 1/4 is gone. Where's my son? I had to get my drill out of his room right before the show.
So Robocat says Andrew has the most elegant and simple solutions to tough problems.
That's right.
So Andrew, put in the chat, how would you do this? Besides the picture that you sent us. Now, as Chad, you're being awfully brave. A lot of people would put a little bit of tape so they know right where to stop on that bit.
Oh, I'm good.
Well, I know you're good. No, I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you could put, like Derek's saying, because you don't want to go too deep, you can measure the depth of this, which looks like it's 1/2 inch. put some tape on there a half inch or a little bit further, because your bit has a spade on it pointed, so you need a little bit of extra room for that, and then you know where to stop. But I've dealt with this stuff for years, so I guess think about it. But that one is, I went a little bit smaller to see if it would just fit, and it doesn't. So I'll go the next size up, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So like that, we'll put this in here, push it in. Now we know it will stay. In fact, that probably fits better. The next size up fits a little bit better than the 1/4 inch. It will stay. We could probably test it. Make sure I have the magnet. Okay. Okay, so I need to come up with this. So I remember how I went down a little bit for that. It looks like I'm wrong. I need to come up with it. But other than that, everything looks good. So we'll just loosen that up. And slide up. Now these have a slotted hole, so hopefully I can just push it up by hand and retighten it. I guess you can't see.
Oh yeah, and as you're doing that, I wanted to make a mention of something. If those that have watched my channel, Behind the Cache, remember when I made the gadget cache for GeoRix Travels? I got an email yesterday that it is actually live now in New Zealand. Gadget cache, smart cache, and Dave Wagner helped me with the programming code on that as well. But it was the Hunt for Sam Hunt, and I'm gonna drop the DC right now into the chat. It went live yesterday. It's been what I've seen so far has been some really great reviews. So if you want to check out that cache there in New Zealand, I greatly appreciate it. But it went live yesterday. Rick sent me the email yesterday, and they're going to be doing a YouTube video on it here soon of it being in place and everything like that. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So yeah, I want to just let you all know of an update on that. Since I'm not really doing my channel anymore, I'm just spending most of my time here on Gadget Talk and with the Geocache Talk Network now.
Nice. Okay, so that worked. Just slid it up in the slots there, and so we're tight. Put the magnet on it, and it comes up. So that is good. So you require, well, the funny thing is you need to hide the tot,
Right.
because this is the opposite reverse polarity of what your regular magnet would be, and so you couldn't open it. So if you remember my light post cache,
Right.
light skirt cache, people would go with their own tot and it wouldn't work.
Right. And I noticed that when you sent me the one too, and I was like, why is this magnet not working? And when I made the tool for it, I had to figure out the polarity of it and how much actual needed.
Yeah. So this was hidden right up underneath. Actually, it was hidden it looked like a bolt that was hidden on the light skirt itself, but no one found it. So they tried their own stuff, but
so when you put that to it, does it work like a knob
to turn?
Yeah. Well, it does. Yeah, when you pull it, does it?
I think it's too heavy to pull. So yeah, if you just pull it, it won't work. You need to latch it and then pull it.
Okay, I was just curious because it looks like a hand knob.
And of course, I haven't done it yet, but you need to put screws inside here. So that's a simple way. And if you want everything now, as you saw on Bill on the Move there, he had a hasp on his. I have a different type of hasp here that you can put a lock in. I grabbed that you can put on the front and add a lock to. I like how he just exactly what I did was I added a piece to the backside for the hinge. He did the same thing to the front.
Right, and there's the picture
again. That's actually a great idea, much better than my idea. So I might be stealing that from Andrew here in the future.
Yeah, that looks really cool. I love, and that's a good lock as well on there. So yeah, I was just kind of looking at the image here again, and once again, you don't see any screws that are visible on this.
Right. So a few things to think about if you're not going to use, if you want to use one of those 4-digit keypads, you either need to open it this way, long ways, or you need to use smaller 1/4 inch sides or dado out or rabbit out, chisel out, whatever you want to do.
Right.
Or fit in.
Or a bigger ammo can.
Or a bigger ammo can. But here, yeah, you can see that this works. You could actually put a puzzle in the top to kind of fake them out if you wanted to, or just tell them they need a tot. And I would hope fairly quickly, without seeing anything else, you would know it's a magnet. Now, you could just drill a hole and stick in a barrel lock like this, take this part off, stick this barrel lock in, and then that would be, red herring.
Red herring, yeah.
You could do the same thing with just a regular key lock in there, and you could put, like I did on my other one, which RFID is just a bunch of keys.
Right.
And that'd be red herring as well. Hopefully they'd read the page where it says you need to bring your own tot, because that would give you a hint.
Right.
Of course, if you have a key in there, they might think it's a key picking, lock picking, which I don't know if that's considered an official tot, because it's not legal in all states to have one. So.
Right. Well, I know there's
Anyway.
one that you have to use a lock picking kit up in Gilby, or I think it's still active. And catch us if it is, let us know, because I think you have one that was a lock picking kit that you need that, but you supplied the tools for that.
Yeah.
So, all right, Chad.
Yeah.
We're coming close to the top of the hour, and we still have a clue for one of the keys for the cache vault. So I guess before we show the clue, I think we're supposed to do this. All right, so the cache vault clue. Are we ready? And I'll just talk about this cache vault for a second. There's quite a bit of that's going to be in there. I think
there's going to be a lot in there.
There's some gift cards that are, I don't know, I think, how much are we putting in for the gift card? Do you remember?
Are we supposed to say?
I don't know, but it's quite a bit.
Yeah, we're doing, each podcast has quite a bit of money to stick in there for gift cards.
Yeah, it's going to be some
well
nice
other prizes, if I remember.
Other prizes, coins maybe, and some other stuff. But this is key number 31, 32. Do you remember which key number this is? Let me look at the chat.
Oh, I'm looking for my phone.
It was in our conversation earlier. Let me find it up. It is key number.
John is on here. He should know right away. 32. Key 32.
Key 32. Okay, so here is the clue for key 32.
Bam. I have no idea.
I don't know. Wherever this place is, it looks like it was established in 2006. And it doesn't look like they're open because the sign's out.
Oh.
So there's your clue for key number 32. There's some blackout spots. I mean, it's just good luck. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Tom mentioned he had fun giving away Woodstock. That had to be probably the easiest key to find, but that would be fun. I mean, all you had to do was find Tom.
Yeah,
and then, right? First person to find him and ask the key, got it.
Oh, so here's a question. Any news on Chad and Derek's Gadget Cache US road trip?
No, not for me. Derek's always working, so
I'm always working. I'm working lots of hours.
I already have road trips planned. What do we have? Memphis again this year. We have Florida. Mm-hmm. I have a Vegas one. One other thing too I have going. I don't remember where it is. And then hoping to hit a couple other small events too. So
yeah, that would be. I'm pretty much stuck here. I'll be here for Cache Fest. I got the entire week off for Cache Fest. Since I started working my new job, I don't have, and I started late in the last year. I don't have like a couple weeks off yet. So I will next year. So still working on some other stuff. But yeah, it's good. I'm ready to kind of have some time to go play. I have been all work and no play for a while now, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I think last time I actually got out of town was when I went to CoinFest last year in October. Was it October last year or September?
Yeah,
was that the end of September?
Was it the first week in October?
Second week in September. It was second weekend in October because first weekend would have been going caching, and I didn't get to go caching last year.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah.
One thing I did want to mention about the lock picking kit, real quick while I'm thinking about it, is if you're going to make one, I have one here that I made. Have it labeled. Make sure you have it labeled. I would recommend starting out with an easy lock and then do a series and progressively get harder. Like end with like a Medco type of lock if you can, or something that's a lot harder. But if you start out with an easy lock, you can get these clear lock picking kits here, and this is actually a practice lock, and so you could actually see the pins move. And I would recommend that for the first stage, and then progressively get harder. I would do 5 different stages probably.
Oh, that's cool.
If you think about doing one, if you want to do one, that's what I would recommend doing.
Okay. Anyway, all right. So Romacast has asked a question, and we haven't even really discussed this really, Chad. And he asks, what is the topic for the next show?
Well, it depends what Doug's coming on and teaching.
Yeah, Doug, so what you coming on and telling us, talking about?
Yeah.
So
Chad mentioned he used that lock, the test or the practice lock, and removed a couple pins to make it easier. That's a good idea. It's fairly easy as it is, but
I didn't know you could remove the pins.
Yeah, I don't know. That's acrylic. Obviously, they put them in, so there has to be a way to come apart.
Right.
Oh yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I could say that'd be really easy to do.
And I have one of those locks too because I was practicing. I got that for Christmas. I wanted one of lock picking kit for Christmas one year, so I got that. I had some barrel locks and some other stuff in there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I use them at work once in a while, but I'm not a professional at it. That's for sure. Chad said there's a cover.
There's a cover that pops off. I was like, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at it that close. So
yeah.
Next show. That's a good question. When is the next show?
Next show will be the second week of June. Wow, we're getting so close to Cache Fest. So that would be second weekend of June, which would be the 11th. And then also want to mention that on the 18th of June is a special geocache talk. That's Thursday, or the Thursday. That's Sunday. Because that is the 700th show? 700th show, I think, that we'll be doing. I'd have to look at that, but it's a special show that we'll be doing that night as well. So be sure to tune in for that.
I'm hoping to make it on time. I'm going to be coming back from the Tri-Cities Mega.
Ooh, I wonder what the coin's going to look like this year.
They posted it somewhere. I don't remember. So we're doing a gadget. Goblin Dust and myself are doing a gadget kind of show and tell type of thing there for the maker, for that new event that you can do. Maker event. Derek froze again. So if you're going to be in Tri-Cities, come by and say hi to me and Goblin Dust, who's an amazing cacher as well up here in Washington. So yeah, and I'm taking it. Derek froze. Yep, CBEC Tribe just commented, so I can see. Other than that, for next episode, I'm not 100% sure. Thought about doing a Lego cache, and a couple thoughts on. Rumocat says he thought Goblin Dust was a myth. Nope, he's real. Great guy. Actually, one of the best builders and nicest guys. If you need help with anything, he's always been willing to help, and good guy. So, and great caches. So, I thought about doing a Lego cache, but not your traditional Lego cache that you'd normally see at a cache, which would be normal size Legos. One of my thoughts was kind of to make it a little bit funner and use bigger Legos. So I can show you some thoughts that I've been messing with is bigger Legos. So a tree, a container, so like this, different things to make a Lego cache in a bigger container. But that is what one of my thoughts was for the next show. But yeah. The next show is, again, Derek mentioned it, June 11th, I believe. The Sunday in 2 weeks. Sunday in 2 weeks. But anyway, hopefully we'll see you next show. I was hoping Derek was going to jump on here. Make sure we didn't forget anything, but everything should be good. You got the clue for key 32. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good night, everybody.
Hey, sorry, I completely